How did yesterday go, and how does the thumb feel today?
It's sore. It was a pretty good throwing session yesterday. Just trying to get the motion back and everything, get it feeling where I want it to feel. It hurts. And I don't know how else to describe it. It feels like the web in your hand is kind of tearing a little bit. Yeah, that's probably the best way I could describe it, but it's all good.
Might you keep the decision about who's going to start hidden, I guess, as late as possible, even if you have made that determination earlier in the week, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. I haven't made it now, which is the truth, and I probably will make it before the game starts, and I will not tell you guys when I do that. So, for all the reasons you just asked.
I would hope that Kyle Shanahan will make the decision on who the starting quarterback is before the game begins. I would like to think that kickoff would be the absolute deadline for knowing who your starting quarterback is.
He's getting soft. I mean, he's just getting soft out there. I don't even know what else to say. What was it, 62 degrees, and he had to put a winter hat on out in Santa Clara? What a wimp he is. I just having fun.
The situation with the 49ers is very simple. They need to win. They need to win, and the Rams are a team that they have dominated in recent years. Yeah. The Rams have an incentive to keep trying to win as we sort out playoff seeding and whatnot. But we just don't know who the quarterback is going to be. It sure looks like it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, Trey Lance wasn't horrible last week, but he wasn't spectacular either. He wasn't so good that you got to give him another start, and we're just going to rest Jimmy G for the playoffs. I think they need to rebuild Garoppolo's confidence a little bit.
Yeah.
After that Thursday night game against the Titans 2 weeks ago. And who better to do it against than a Rams team that they have thoroughly dominated in a win-in scenario where you have to win this game to get in, and you're going against a team that you are very familiar with beating. The only bad news is the Rams need a win to wrap up the division title. So they will be going for it to the same extent that the 49ers are going for it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's a huge football game. It really is. I mean, of course, we know it's bigger for the San Francisco 49ers. To me, where I look at it and just go, I'm amazed, first off, that they're a little in this situation. And also, they're one of those teams, Mike, like we talked about last week, where you go, if they get in, I'm not going to be shocked if we're sitting here Championship Sunday and the 49ers are in the championship game. They have that type of talent. They blew some games throughout the year that they should have won. There's no doubt. This twice to the Seahawks. The Cardinals at home with Colt McCoy at quarterback. Carson Wentz and the Colts at home in a rainy game. Mess some things up in that football game. So that's where they're in a tough spot. And, you said it right. Trey Lance did some good things. Hey, that was great. But in a game like this, with certainly a better quality defense here. The Rams defense has kind of got it going. We've seen them kind of smother people. Even Stafford's turning the ball over, and they're still holding teams to the limited points. They're getting good here to where I do think they need Jimmy G to beat the Rams. I do. I don't think they're going to be able to just do it with the Trey Lance, run the ball, and we'll call a few play-action passes, and he'll hit a few of them, and that'll win us the game. I have a hard time thinking that'll be the way or the path to victory. This is where they're going to need Jimmy G, again, because the 49ers aren't as dominant in the run game as we've seen maybe in their Super Bowl year or other times. The drop-back pass game has to be a little bit of an element of their team right now to help them win football games. And, yeah, Jimmy G's a little, scary at times in that, but not as scary as Trey Lance. Certainly better, and we've seen him play some clean games. So that, to me, is going to be a big question mark, as far as who I think can win the game or how it plays out, because I do think that their chances of winning on the road against L.A. in their, in a big game for them to where they can still be, the 2 seed, right? They want to make sure they win the division and have a home playoff game. That's not going to be an easy circumstance for a rookie quarterback who hasn't played a whole lot this year.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The 49ers won the game 31-10 when they played Week 10 at Levi's Stadium on Monday Night Football. And it is amazing. It's 5 straight games that the 49ers have beaten the Rams. And from the Rams' perspective, there's another reason to go for it and beat the 49ers on Sunday. you don't want to cross paths
No
with
doubt.
the 49ers
No
in
doubt.
the playoffs. You never want to play a team from your own division in the playoffs because those teams know you better. And when there's a team from your division that you may encounter in the playoffs that has beaten you 5 and now maybe 6 straight times, all the more reason.
Yes.
Knock them out while you can.
Right.
You'd rather play any other team from any other division than a team from your division.
100%. And then you add on that, McVay worked for Shanahan. Shanahan knows a lot of McVay's tricks. He knows how he approaches certain coverages and defenses and things like that. So that's again, like you're talking about, not only is there a division knowledge there, there's a personal knowledge there that's scary to the Rams. And the 49ers are one of those teams, again, that we talk about a matchup league. They just match up well with the Rams in a lot of ways. The Rams are a speed team. They're all about, speed. They're not necessarily big. The 49ers are also more of a speed team, but have more size than the Rams too. So they're like, hey, we're a little bigger. We might not be quite as fast as you, but we're not that much slower. It's pretty close. And we got the size advantage on you. And that's where, it becomes a tricky matchup. And then, hey, listen, we talk about the 49ers and their quarterback thing. We've talked about this a lot. The other damn quarterback on the other side, too. Crap, he's a question mark, too. You know me, I'm the biggest Matthew Stafford defender there is out there since we've known each other. But crap, he's shaky as hell here right now. He's shaky as hell. He is the question mark about the Rams going to the playoffs. And I can't believe I'm saying that here in Week 18, but I am. And yeah, can he play a clean football game? He didn't play a clean football game the first time they played. He had the dumb interception where he just threw it up to Odell Beckham Jr., and I know some other ones that weren't his fault. But, the quarterback is truly the question mark for both teams in this football game to see who comes out on the victorious side.
Before we move on to the next game, the potential return of Cam Akers, and he could play this weekend.
Yeah.
If not, then in the playoffs. Do you see that potentially sparking a dramatic change to the Rams' offense where they maybe make it less about the pass and balance it out a little bit more and maybe hope that that'll make it easier to pass, put a little less pressure on Matthew Stafford?
It's a great thought, and it's something I've talked about on my podcast where, yes, I do think it'll make a difference. It's a good Rams offensive line. It's not great. It's nothing special, but they don't waste plays. They know the run plays they do, and they really know how to execute them. And to your point, Mike, yes, the way they're playing, they don't need to be the high-flying Matthew Stafford Detroit Lions type of offense. I just want them to be the Jared Goff offense that's just more aggressive and open because you got a guy who's got a laser beam for an arm. To me, that will help them do that with a healthy backfield and a stable of running backs there that can help them out. To where I do get him under center, run the ball, play actions, boots. You obviously can add more to the repertoire off of that, as compared to a Jared Goff because of the incredible arm talent with Matthew Stafford. But I think you're right there, and I would hope to see maybe a little bit more of that approach as we go on here and go through the playoffs from them.
Does rattling off a word like repertoire, does that negate a Simsism? Is that like money in the bank for a future Simsism?
I don't know. I got lucky. I pulled some words out of my butt today. I know. I even said it with like a French accent there. I don't even know what the hell I was saying.
I know. Well done. By the way, if the Saints beat the Falcons on Sunday and the 49ers lose to the Rams, the Saints are in and the 49ers are out.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.